In today's recipe, we are going to be making the best of both worlds. We are going to be making a Dougla roll, which is a currants roll and a coconut roll blend. I do enjoy Dougla rolls. I really like a really nice soft currants roll, one that is moist, one that has a really nice light flakiness. And this recipe will demonstrate how to achieve that. The recipe that I will be showing you today is a very detailed one. It is going to demonstrate how to get neat even layers in the rolls, how to get smooth coconut, how to prevent the log from bleeding during baking, and how to get the ends of the roll to have a generous amount of coconut without being too doughy. Let us now begin to make our delicious Dougla rolls. On the first day of pastry making, we already laminated our puff pastry in a detailed tutorial that was posted just before this one. You can check that out. You will need one medium-sized coconut. To get it out of the shell hole, place it on your stove burner on medium heat until the coconut cracks, which should take around 2 to 3 minutes. Then burst it open and take out the nut. Use a knife or a peeler to remove the crust. This is the first step to getting a smooth coconut filling. If the water is still in the nut, break the coconut open and release it. There are two methods that you can use to grate the coconut. The first option is grating the coconut manually using a hand grater, because the finer grated coconut will be the smoother coconut when eaten. The second option is to chop the coconut into small pieces and add them to a blender along with half cup of water and a small knob of ginger, which should value about 2 teaspoons, and blend them very smoothly. If you will manually grate the coconut, also grate the ginger. And quarter cup of water, make 2 tablespoons of bay leaf extract. Boil until the house is fragrant and the liquid is brown. Making the bay leaf extract should take just around 5 minutes. This is what you want to see. Using a wide pot, add the coconut and the ginger. A wide pot is recommended because the liquid will evaporate faster than a narrow, deep pot. From here, you will build on the flavors. Add the bay leaf extract if you have it. You can omit it if you don't. Vanilla essence, ground cinnamon, freshly grated nutmeg is key, because the nutmeg oils are released into the coconut from the nut to the pot. Ground nutmeg does not have that luxury. 1 cup of brown or white sugar, but you can adjust this to your liking. Start mixing the coconut on high heat and it will begin to spring the juices and blend into the flavors. This is a point where you want to start adding the red food color. We are using Notice Red because some of the red food coloring can be very bitter. You will know your food coloring. Add the amounts to get your desired color, or you can simply omit it. It will still be very delicious. My preferred method is to coat the coconut as opposed to adding the dry brittle coconut into the roll. This method gives moisture and a more appealing taste. However, you want to get as much of the liquid out of the coconut as possible before adding it to the roll. If not, the roll will bleed when baking and the roll will be messy and very heavy. Reduce as much liquid as you can, but you still want to leave a little bit of moisture, because if you reduce it too much, you can get coconut cake or sugar cake. If you pull the coconut to one side, you will see the amount of liquids left in the filling. Add a little bit of salt to balance and stir it in. Here is a tip that I highly recommend. After you turn off the stove, add the filling to a strainer to drain any excess liquid. You will be surprised at how much liquid will drain. Then place it in the refrigerator to firm up and let it cool. This tip works wonders. The currant filling is very simple. To a bowl, add 2 to 3 tablespoons of sugar, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, along with a small grate of fresh nutmeg. We are also going to be adding 1 cup of currants and 1 tablespoon of dark vanilla. Using a spoon, give this a mix. If you have gotten this far into the video, give the video a thumbs up, which helps my YouTube channel to grow by reaching more people, to help me grow and to make better content. We have our puff pastry ready to go. For this recipe, we will only be using half to make 1 roll. For 2 rolls, you would want to double up on the amounts. Dust the counter with a little bit of dusting flour and also dust the top of the pastry. The goal is to roll it thin, evenly, and more length than width. More length will give the final look more coconut and currant layers. Use dusting flour lightly as you go along, but make sure the dough is cold before rolling, not frozen. If it's frozen, take it out a few hours before. Try to make the thinness level throughout the pastry. Also get into the habit of moving the pastry on the counter as you go along, because this is your insurance to prevent it from sticking. Trimming the edges lightly will prevent the thick doughy ends. Trimming the beginning of the roll into a straight line will make the center of the roll look very uniformed. When we made the pastry yesterday, we spoke about how to prevent a lot of trimming in the final phase of making the pastry. No need to trim the end of the roll because it's going to go at the bottom and it's going to be seamless. The coconut filling has firmed up nicely and we are ready to add it to our roll. We are going to be alternating the coconut and the currants filling. Add 1 layer of coconut, or you can start off using the currants and end with the currants, or you can start off by using the coconut and end with the coconut. Leave at least 2 inches unfilled all the way around. After layering the filling, use a piece of plastic wrap or parchment paper to roll the filling flat. This is a tip that I use to get the filling to layer evenly. The more you press into the filling, the better it will look when you cut into it. At the beginning of the roll, make it very neat and tight, as this is the center of the roll that you will see when you cut it. Then roll the lock tightly, stopping at the end of the filling. Use an egg wash, which is 1 egg to 1 tablespoon of water, or even water on its own, to seal the roll by bringing it up and smooth it out. Not roll it over. This way you can see how seamless the bottom will be. Folding the sides over the roll and onto the bottom will prevent the thick doughy end when you cut into it, because you will be slicing the seamless bottom as opposed to pushing it inside. With this method, you will have filling until the very end of the roll. Some bakeries do sell you the end with a few filling inside. Place it on a lined baking sheet and brush the log with egg wash or milk. If you are still watching, be sure to subscribe to the channel and comment in the comment section and let me know if you have learned something and what you have learned. Place it in the freezer for at least 1 to 2 hours, then bake it at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 1 hour or until light and golden. This will cause the butter to steam instead of melting the fat everywhere and have an oily, greasy sheet. After it has been baked, it should look nice and golden. You want to allow the log to cool until it is lukewarm. That way the flakes are going to begin to raise up. And when you cut into it, It should not make a mess everywhere. It should be nice, neat and uniform. For presentation, when you cut into it, make very sharp diagonal cuts. The reveal of your hard work and patience will be unmatched. We have now come to the end of our recipe. If you enjoyed the video, give the video a thumbs up, a subscribe. Help me to grow my YouTube channel by sharing. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend, and see you in another one of my recipes.